What if I told you that the most successful CEOs don't actually micromanage their companies? Steve Jobs once revealed that Apple's real secret wasn't just innovation, it was how the company was organized. Instead of committees and rigid hierarchies, Jobs put single leaders in charge of key areas like iPhone OS software or Mac hardware. This approach allowed Apple to operate more like a startup, small, empowered teams meeting regularly to discuss every part of the business. In this video, you'll see how unconventional leadership, from Jobs at Apple to Simon Sinek on empathy and Rosalind Torres on foresight, creates billion-dollar companies. We'll explore how trusting teams, fostering collaboration, and letting the best ideas rise to the top are reshaping what it means to be an effective CEO. But beyond structure and strategy, there's a deeper quality that sets great leaders apart. If you're new here, please subscribe and like, because I share tips to help you improve your career. The empathy paradox challenges what many executives believe about leadership. Rather than relying on authority or control, Simon Sinek argues that true leadership is rooted in empathy, the willingness to understand and support your team. At the Four Seasons Hotel, this philosophy is evident in everyday interactions. Baristas like Noah describe how managers regularly check in, asking how they are doing and what they need to excel. This simple act of caring fosters an environment where employees feel valued and motivated to deliver exceptional service. In contrast, Noah's experience at Caesar's Palace highlights a different dynamic. Managers focus on finding mistakes, prompting staff to keep their heads down and avoid risk. The difference is clear. When leaders prioritize empathy, they create a culture where people want to contribute their best. The consequences of neglecting empathy become stark when examining leadership failures. The Wells Fargo account fraud scandal is a prime example. When management pressured employees to meet aggressive sales targets, the focus shifted from serving customers to hitting numbers at any cost. This culture led to unethical practices and ultimately cost the company billions in fines. The fallout damaged trust with both employees and customers, showing how neglecting human impact for short-term gains can unravel even the most established organizations. Empathy isn't just about being nice, it's a strategic advantage. Satya Nadella's transformation of Microsoft demonstrates this principle in action. Upon becoming CEO, Nadella replaced a cutthroat employee ranking system with a collaborative feedback process. By shifting the focus from internal competition to shared success, he enabled teams to innovate and solve customer problems together. Over the next 5 years, Microsoft's market value quadrupled, underscoring the tangible impact of empathetic leadership on business outcomes. These examples raise a crucial question for today's leaders. How do you move beyond managing tasks to truly leading people? The answer often requires balancing empathy with the ability to anticipate and plan for the future, an approach that sets apart leaders who achieve lasting results. If you're finding this helpful, please subscribe and like, because it helps us create content that matters to you. Also, if you want to take your skills further, check out our executive education and executive coaching programs at execbeat.com. Foresight, rather than financial metrics alone, often separates transformative leaders from those who simply maintain the status quo. Rosalind Torres's research highlights that the most effective CEOs don't just react to immediate pressures. They look years ahead, consistently asking, "Where am I looking to anticipate the next change?" This long-term perspective contrasts sharply with the quarterly focus that dominates Wall Street and often dictates executive priorities. A striking example of this mindset comes from leaders who, like chess grandmasters, plan many moves ahead of the competition. Grandmasters are known to anticipate up to 15 moves in advance, and the same principle applies in business. Leaders who embrace this approach accept short-term sacrifices to position their organizations for future success. Reed Hastings, for instance, invested in streaming technology at a time when the market wasn't ready, demonstrating the value of acting on emerging trends before they become obvious. This willingness to challenge established practices and invest in the future, rather than maximizing immediate profits, sets apart those who build enduring companies. Despite the clear benefits of long-term thinking, many organizations struggle to break free from short-term pressures. Torres's findings reveal that 58% of companies report significant talent gaps, even after substantial investments in leadership development. This suggests that leadership programs often reinforce existing habits rather than cultivating the strategic foresight needed to thrive in a rapidly changing environment. The challenge is compounded by compensation structures shaped by the 1990s Clinton-era tax law, which capped salary deductibility at $1 million. This led to a surge in stock-based pay, incentivizing CEOs to focus on share price performance over genuine long-term value creation. Steve Jobs' leadership at Apple offers a clear alternative. Rather than relying on committees, Jobs held weekly executive meetings where a single leader was responsible for each area. This structure encouraged trust, rapid decision-making, and creative problem-solving, qualities that allowed Apple to set industry standards instead of chasing short-term results. Jobs' approach illustrates how foresight, paired with empowered teams, can drive sustained growth even in the face of market skepticism. Ultimately, overemphasis on quarterly numbers can erode a company's foundation, while leaders who combine strategic foresight with empathy build organizations that adapt and thrive. This shift is redefining what it means to be a CEO and signals a broader transformation in leadership that extends far beyond financial statements. As the CEO role evolves, leaders face a new challenge, balancing deep empathy with strategic foresight. The most effective executives today move beyond command and control, choosing instead to ask their teams, "How are you?" before, "What did you achieve?" A shift Simon Sinek champions as essential for building trust and engagement. Try this in your own organization. Swap one financial metrics meeting for a conversation about psychological safety or future industry trends. Notice how your team's energy and ideas change. Leave one idea below for how you'll blend empathy with long-term vision in your next leadership meeting. Leaders who pair genuine care for people with the patience to build for the next decade will shape the era ahead. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe and like, because it helps us bring you more free videos. And if you're ready to grow your career, visit execbeat.com to learn about our executive education and coaching.